what is going on? Look, I know I'm in actual t-shirt, not just shirtless with my tongue out, but hey, if you are tired of having a dad bod, you have come to the right place, and I promise I'm gonna keep this pretty short, but I just wanna go over like the fundamentals of what it means to like get on a fitness journey, you know, kind of get your nutrition and workouts kind of on track. And I promise you it's not as scary as it really might seem like it might be. But let's talk about the three major points of health and fitness, right? So there's three major points. First one is movement. Second one is nutrition or diet. And the last one is recovery. Both three are really, really necessary when getting into fitness of any kind. So I know there's a lot of info out there about different diets and different ways to eat. And you know what, depending on some health issues, you may need to go on, you know, an anti-inflammatory diet, or, you know, if you got celiac or something like that, you might need to have no gluten, and that's going to be really individual, right? But here are some really important takeaways. Number one, try to eat as much like whole foods as possible, right? The types of food that you're eating is going to really affect how satiated you are through the day, how much muscle you can hold, how much fat you can lose, and your hormone profile. So, you know, ultimately to lose weight, it's calories in, calories out. You got to be in a calorie deficit. But the type of food you eat is going to make it much easier, and it's going to make the difference between just losing weight and being maybe what they call skinny fat, or losing weight and, if you're working out, build muscle and that kind of thing. So, and just so you know, like nutrition, 90% of your results, no matter if you're trying to gain muscle, lose weight, that's what it comes from, is nutrition. So best way that I found, you know, if you're just going to try to do this on your own, download an app like MyFitnessPal, right? Set up your macros that you want to do. I'm going to attach a macro calculator below here, so you can, you know, play with that, see where you're at, and go from there. But you know, track your macros, track your calories, and eat consistently. And again, stick to whole foods, stick to leaner meats, right? Egg whites instead of whole eggs, right? Make those changes. Less calories, less fat. And then I wouldn't go carb free. I would stay away from any kind of restrictive diet unless you need that, right? So that's that. So the next one is movement or exercise, right? Kind of the same thing, but I put movement in there because not everybody wants to go to the gym. Not everybody wants to start lifting weight, right? So movement and exercise. So number one is all of us should be hitting like 8 to 10,000 steps as kind of the main number one goal. Once you start, you know, you want to get your diet under control, and then let's start walking, let's start moving more. So, you know, 10K steps is the goal. If you're wearing a watch, you know, like a smart watch, track it there. If you have an iPhone, keep it in your pocket, it's going to be tracking it. If you set it up, go in the health app, Samsung, all of them have some kind of health app that's going to do that for you. So getting 10K steps in every day. Now, strength training is real important for muscle growth and bone density. So, you know, especially as we age, as we start crossing, you know, depending on male or female, as you start crossing certain threshold ages, 45, 50 plus, you're going to, you're going to be really needing to start building muscle, preserve that bone density. So that's where exercise comes into play, right? But you don't have to lift weights, right? You could do hiking, you could do swimming. Swimming's a great full body workout. You know, you can get resistance bands, work at home, those kind of things. So, you know, if you don't want to go to a gym, there are plenty of alternatives that you can do. You got to move, it's still going to be movement, but you know, there's different things that you can do, right? And the important thing is that you find something that you actually enjoy, so that you're going to be sustainable with it. You're going to stick with it and be consistent with it week after week, like you would brush your teeth, right? It's something that is going to be forever. So that is that. And you know, last little bit is recovery, because recovery is just as important as nutrition, just as important as diet. If you overtrain, if you know, don't sleep 7 to 10 hours a night, depending male, female, age, you know, these things are going to play a role. If you lose weight, if your hormone levels are right, if you feel okay, if your energies are up, right? And so all these little things are nuances and adds to that, including stress management. So if you're stressed out, you're not going to be able to perform like you should. Your cortisol level is going to be real high, which means your blood sugar is going to be higher, right? So if you have high cortisol, your blood sugar is usually elevated with it. And sleep helps regulate hormones, and and taking rest days is real important so you don't overtrain. So recovery, diet, nutrition, exercise, all three is super important. Last is, putting all three together as like a recipe for a consistent and sustainable long-term health can sometimes be tricky. Sometimes it's not just knowing what to do, but there's also motivation that goes into it. There's accountability. You may be thinking you're doing something right, and you just don't know what's wrong. So there's definitely different things that can arise there. So, my own coach always says that people are like a fingerprint, right? Very individual. Everybody has a little nuancing difference that they need to do to make it work. So you can't just try one thing and think that it's going to work for you just because it worked for somebody else, right? So that's something to keep in mind, and why a coach can help you see when those things are not working early on and steer you into a proper way, right? So anyways, if any of that resonates with you, use the calculator below. But if you wanted something, a little bit more individualized, something that can help you, that, maybe you're working with a coach one-on-one, like with me, fill out the form below and let's see what you're doing now and see if there's something I can do to help you. If not, thanks for watching this video and utilize some of the free stuff. Also download my free ebook. So later.